And joining me now from Washington is FEMA's acting administrator, Bob Fenton. Bob, thank you so much for joining me. So what are the next steps now that President Biden has declared a major disaster in Texas?
Well, the major disaster declaration is declared for 77 counties. We have teams there. We're providing water and other commodities to Texas right now. In fact, we have trucks heading there from as far away as Atlanta. But as far as the new declaration and being able to provide individual assistance to individuals that receive damage, they need to start the process by first they should phone their insurance company, and if they have insurance, go ahead and process a claim. I would start by taking photos and making a list of damages. And then if you don't have insurance or you're underinsured, then you should phone FEMA. There's 3 ways to apply. Disasterassistance.gov. So go to www.disasterassistance.gov, which is the best way to apply online. Or you could download FEMA's app. Or 3, you can phone our 1-800 number, which is 1-800-621-3362. 1-800-621-FEMA 3362.
All right, good for people to have that information. Disasterassistance.gov, the FEMA app, or 1-800-621-FEMA, FEMA. So what are some of the key resources that FEMA will be providing to the state of Texas, and how soon will that begin happening?
Well, we started last weekend with providing immediate response resources, things like water, food, generators, fuel, things that people needed, blankets, cots, to make sure we kept them warm so that the state of Texas could set up warming centers. In addition to that, we provide funding to offset a lot of the emergency costs that states and local governments were providing. And as we go into the recovery part of this disaster and start helping people recover, you've seen the pictures of significant water damage from broken pipes or broken water mains. Mm-hmm. And so what we'll do is we'll help the state by providing funding to repair the water mains. And as far as individuals, we're recommending that they start by calling their insurance company. And then if underinsured or not insured, they could come to FEMA to seek assistance, and we'll provide a direct grant to them to make their home habitable. In addition to that, they may be eligible for SBA funding, and we'll be able to go through that process to not only seek SBA funding, but any form of assistance that's available to them through that major disaster declaration.
We're talking about some very long-term problems when you're looking at these images, and as you're discussing water main breaks, these have created significant problems in people's homes. Is there a time frame by which people need to make their applications to FEMA?
Well, it's 60 days from the day of the event, but yesterday, as I was talking to President Biden, I suspect that there'll be many other forms of assistance. What he really wants to do is make sure that the whole federal government brings all the resources available to the state of Texas. So we will continue to publicize not only FEMA's assistance, but other federal agencies that have assistance that may be available, whether it be from HUD, SBA, or other federal agencies that may help people recover from this event. And the president was very quick last night to go ahead and issue the major disaster declaration.
So I very much appreciate, Bob, you talking through some of these long-term grants and assistance that might be available to people, because the damage to people's homes have been tremendous. But there's also these short-term concerns, food, water shortages across the state, as well as a lack of adequate housing at the moment. Is there a plan in place to provide Texans who are in need of some housing with emergency assistance? What is the plan until they're able to return to safe and habitable homes?
Yeah, well, one of the things that came in last weekend was the authorization to do non-congregate sheltering. So we authorized the state of Texas to provide to individuals that need sheltering the ability to do that, whether that was through mass sheltering capability or through hotels. In addition to that, through FEMA's program and the application process that I just spoke to go to www.disasterassistance.gov, in addition to funding directly for grants to make your house habitable, also available there is rental assistance. So we can provide assistance to individuals that have more extensive damage that may be out of their home for a longer period of time, rental assistance to go rent something temporarily until their house can be repaired.
Now, Texas is the only state in the country to have its own power grid. We've had a lot of discussions recently about the problems that has caused as officials tried to get power back on in the state this week. Does Texas need to reform its energy plans?
Well, I'll let Texas, look at their energy needs and how best to look at their system. I would say this, that as we see risk increase in the United States, last year we had the most active hurricane season on record. I come from out west where we've had very active fire seasons. Is we need to continue to make our infrastructure, especially our critical infrastructure we're dependent on, things like power and water, we need to make sure it's hardened. We need to make sure it's resilient and holds up to these risks. And we need to continue to invest on that because we're so dependent on it throughout the United States.
So one more question before you leave, Bob, because I'm sure that so many of our viewers who are tuning in from Texas are appreciative to know that FEMA is working on this and working to provide support. There have been criticisms of your agency in disasters past about people being able to get through, being able to have their claims processed. Is there a timeline for folks that they can count on? And where do they go if they don't find that they're getting adequate support, either through the website or the app, or even do we know that there are sufficient people answering those phone lines right now?
Yeah, we've brought on not only our call centers that are set up to handle the calls throughout the United States, but we've also provided some contract support to increase that significantly. So we are continuing to increase that. I suspect that with the sheer number of calls and the size of Texas has been impacted, there will be some wait times, which is why people should go to the website and start there. More importantly, if you have insurance, you have to start with your insurance. FEMA cannot assist you until you've finished your insurance claim. So if you have insurance, if Texans have insurance, start with your insurance claim. For Texans that are uninsured, go to the FEMA app to start the process there.
All right, Bob Fenton, thank you.
Thank you.